Hello everyone, welcome to my second video tutorial. Today I'd like to teach you how to make these cute hydrangea flowers. A friend of mine on Stamp TV asked that I do this, and so I'm going to teach you today. I'm going to start out by using cardstock that I've cut to 1 1/4 inches in width, and then I've scored it down the center, and you're just going to fold it. Normally you fold away from the groove, but I don't want to really make the groove stand out because I want it to disappear after. But you fold it in half, and I'm using a Martha Stewart heart-shaped punch to create my petals. And taking the punch, making sure your crease side is at the top, you slide that in, and you're going to not cut the whole heart shape. You just want to put the petals in. I don't know if you can see that okay, but you just punch it, and you do that as many times as you need to create the number of flowers that you need. I'm just going to do a few just so you can see how I do it. I put my hand over it, otherwise these things fly everywhere. Okay, so I've got 4 punched out, and you'll see when I open them up they give you that little shape that you get for the petals. I'm opening them up, and now I want to shape them a little better. They're kind of flat looking, and you can see that crease that's in the center there. We want to try to get rid of that, so I'm going to put this out of the way. I'm just taking a regular mouse pad and my score tool from my Score Pal, and I'm just going to rub a little bit in the centers here. I want to kind of cup the petals so they stand up a little and are rounded. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to kind of get a little bit of that center crease out, the one that I told you you don't want it to really be there. So see how they're nice and cupped instead of laying flat? And I tried doing it on 100-pound weight paper because I have the white in the 100-pound, but I'm out of the 80, and I find them almost a little too stiff, so I've gone with a different paper here. It's kind of speckled. It's not my normal white, but normally I use white. You want to have 60 or 80-pound at the most to make sure that you can kind of crease out the lines there. Now after I've cupped them, I'm going to take my stylus, and I'm going to use the fine tip. Whoops, that's not my fine one. Here's a finer one. Using the finest tip, and I want to make kind of little lines. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm doing just little creases so that it resembles real flower petals. Just going to do that to each of them. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to make them look more lifelike. I'm doing 3, almost like little chicken feet on there. And then after you've got them done, I'm using little sponge daubers. I get them from Stampin' Up! Finger daubers. These are just great. I love them. You can do so many things with them. So starting out, I'm going to use Stampin' Up! Certainly Celery. You can use whatever ink pads you have. I wanted a green that's in the center, so I'm going to take my dauber. I want to get some of the ink off. I don't want it too much. And oops, move my mouse pad out of the way here. And I just want to apply just a little bit to the center of each of the things. If you rub too much, you'll get too much green in there, so just gently touch it. After you get the green on the centers, if you've decided what color you wanted for your petals, I've done them in blue. This time I'm going to do them in a mauve color. It's called Wisteria Wonder, also a Stampin' Up! Color. Again, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm using another dauber. I'm going to daub, let's see how, make sure I get it inked up well enough. Take it, and I just want you to brush the edges of the petals like that, so you pick up some color. You don't want them solid, but I don't know if you can see that okay. I'm just putting a little bit of color on the edges. Hydrangeas are one of my favorite flowers. I've got 4 different hydrangea bushes in my backyard. They're just so pretty, and they dry so nicely. Oops. Put this on my right hand so it's easier to stay under the camera here. And as you can see, these are really quick to do. The first time I made these, I didn't have the Martha Stewart punch. I had a Martha Stewart punch, but it was a completely different one, and I really had to monkey around in order to create this because it wasn't the right size. But I was determined I was going to do these flowers. But I was so happy with how it turned out, even with my fudging around to create it, that I went ahead and bought this other punch so I could do more of them. Now, taking my glue stick, I use the two-way glue pen, but you can use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just going to glue in the center. Since I'm doing 2 flowers here, I'm just doing the center of 2. And then you just stick them on the center. Oh, I know what, you know what I forgot? I forgot one thing. Before you glue them, take it and pinch the end to make it like real petals. I don't know if you can see how I sort of pinch that there. Okay, I'll pinch this one too before I glue them together. I forgot to do that. But it does make it look more realistic to do that. Okay, now I'll stick that on there. And glue the other one, making little points at the end. Aren't these cute? Hopefully my glue's still wet enough after I had to stop doing what I was doing. Okay, after you have that done, now I'm going to put pearls in the center of them, and I love pearls. I use a lot of pearls, and it can get pretty expensive when you're buying packages of all the little ones. And one of the things, an idea that I came up with that I thought was pretty good and affordable, at Michael's you can get these alphabet stamps. Of course, it'd be the full sheet with all the alphabet letters. But I found this the most economical way to get a whole lot of pearls. I actually did this when I did wedding invitations for one of my sons. And I was gluing 7 tiny pearls on each invitation and did 69 invitations. So that was a lot of pearls. So this was an affordable way to do it. But so I pull them off of there and I keep them stored. This is kind of my junk bin here. But I keep them stored in here. When this starts to get empty, I pull a bunch more off and I have them ready. So when I'm needing a bunch, they're already pulled off and ready to go. So now I'm going to stick this on. I don't know if all of you have seen these quick picker-upper things, but they are so handy for little pearls. They've got sort of a flat screwdriver type of end and a pointy end. And I'm going to use Tombow multi-glue here and just put a tiny little dab in the center. Not too much because I don't want my pearls slipping around when I'm trying to put them on there. Now using my picker-upper, I just pick it up and stick it down, and go to the next one, stick it down, and there you have it. There are 2 pretty little flowers, and you just put a bunch of them together and create your bouquet on your flower pot or vase or however you want to do it. But I hope you liked this tutorial. I'm going to be doing another tutorial on how to use Copic markers to color a flower pot, so watch for that one coming up. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by, and till next time, see you later. Bye.